Okay, in this video I'm going to give you basically a general walkthrough through Magic Submitter, just so you can really understand where you need to look, the places that you're going to need to be paying attention to when using the software. So when you first get it, one of the first things that you need to do is input your API keys for the CAPTCHA. So right now we're using Bypass CAPTCHA. So you just put in your API key here. This is another service that I've used in the past. Indexing, we're using Backlinks Indexer, so you need to put the API key in here. What this service does is actually goes through and helps all the tiered links that you're building in the campaigns. Additional link juice, if you will, by getting them indexed faster, so that's what these guys do. Proxy, you'll be using the HMA VPN service for the proxy. So you won't have to worry about that in here, and pretty much nothing else do you really need to touch other than the CAPTCHA and the setup indexing. So actually also on the general tab you want to make sure that you ping new links automatically, and you also want to run it at startup as well. Threads, you can, if you have a really awesome computer, you can push that up to 100, but you know, probably keeping it around, yeah, where it is here, probably, what is that, 15, 10, 15, something like that. Okay, so you click on save. Now next thing you want to do is either open a profile or create a new profile. So when you click on the create new profile button, you click on this button here, fill profile, and I typically choose Outlook. You can also do server-based email, so we can do like a normal practice.com email address. Those are possible. We just need to get the POP server information, but typically I just do Outlook, click OK. It'll go through and pre-populate most of this. What I'll do for a client, see. Let me grab a piece of content and see who needs one. Okay, so this was a piece of content that was published a few days ago. This is a series of press releases for Vision Corner. So we're just going to take this content and use it in a backlink campaign to actually push links to this piece of content. This is a PR6 site, so being able to rank a piece of content like this for the terms that she's looking for might be a little bit easier than trying to get her site ranked, because there's been some sort of penalty that's been hit against it. It's been difficult to determine what it is, but we'll create another profile in Magic Submitter for the purposes of pushing links to her website and also this piece of content here. So I went through, put in the practice name, everything like that, so it can build citations and stuff like that. So click save. Outlook's going to automatically create an email address for us to use. Now there's sometimes it's hit and miss sometimes, depending on the timing of the CAPTCHA codes being put in, but most of the time it goes through without a hitch. If there is a problem, then I'll show you how to fix that. Alright, so it looked like everything went through okay. So now that we have a profile to work with, we can take a look at some of the different options inside here before we promote that press release. But on the main tab here, we have service types. So these are all the different types of websites that content will be submitted to. So there's article directories, blogs, RSS, videos, profiles, all types of blog sites, PDF sharing sites. Basically, almost anything that we can post content to. I think the only thing that's not on this list is software sites, which is interesting. So, but it does have the designer, so any sites that we do find that we can add content to that are really good quality, we can add that into Magic Submitter, so it'll automatically create a process to submit to that site. So up at the top, here in the buttons, campaign wizard, obviously that's what you want to click on when you're creating a new campaign. Manage campaigns. Let's take a look at, it's a good one to look at. I think we did a couple for Envision, yeah. Okay, so when you click on Edit Campaign, you can see the campaign that was created for these guys. So it was another tiered campaign. I believe this was the Rank Booster 1. So if you want to go in and add more sites or do whatever you want to do to the campaign, you're able to do that. Just click Save and then Create Scheduled Tasks. But that's how you would go in and manage a campaign if you needed to, say, you just want to add some additional nodes to it, or if there's some change in the content or something that needs to be done. That's typically you don't have to use this. It's just there for you. So I'll just leave that alone. Manage items is the same thing. So if we click on Manage Items, let's go back to Envision. So these are all the items that have been submitted for Vision Corner. So you can click on it and then click on the Edit button again, and you can change any of the information that was in here. Typically, you're not really using this either. Create accounts. Typically, you'll let the campaign wizard take care of creating accounts, but if you just wanted to do like a single submit, say, for example, it's a client that doesn't have any content, but we still want to try and build some links for them. So we can do profile links without content. Some of the microblogs will allow you to. You'll need like a little blurb or something like that. Link directories, Web 2.0 profile citations. Those are the types of things that we can build without content. Pretty much everything else you do need a piece of content to go out. So for profile links, for example, you can select. I would select them all, but you can be picky and only select the high PR ones. Of course, PR is just a measurement of how popular or how much authority that particular website has. So you can just go in and pick all the PRs. Typically, you want to do all of them though. So if you don't have a campaign to create, just go in here, select all these, and then click on the Create Accounts button. It'll go through and create accounts with the login information that you provided in the profile setup. Also, you can just click on, so if this big Create Accounts is to create accounts across everything, but this little one here is just for these, the ones that we chose here. When you click on this Read Emails button, it'll go through in the back end, download all the emails, click on any links for confirming account setups and stuff like that. So if you ever need to do that manually, typically you don't, but if you want to, you can do it here. The scheduler, you're not going to really need this here. So the scheduler, that just shows you what schedule to go out, and you can manipulate or add a task for submission. It's pretty straightforward. Again, we've already gone through options. Designer and platform, you're really not going to worry about that for the time being. If maybe like once every however, we can maybe try and somehow to keep track of different sites that we're not currently submitting to. But there's close to like 4,000 sites, I think, in the software that it goes out to. But at some point, we'll probably want to add our own custom sites in. Campaign reports, you can get reports for past campaigns that were run. Utilities, link manager, random links list. These are actually pretty important. So links manager. So on the links manager here for Envision, you can see all the different links that were generated from the content that we sent out. So it'll also tell you if these were sent to be pinged or if they're sent to the indexer. So all the ones that weren't sent to the indexer, I'm just going to click select all, and then I believe indexing service. So the indexing service goes through, checks and makes sure which links are live, which ones are not, and then it will just send them to the indexer. So it cleans out the list first. Okay, so now that the links have been sent to the indexer, we want to have all these links selected again. So that's the select all, and then we actually want to add those to our random link list. I've already saved this, so I'm not going to save it again, but it's just taking all these links. Now this what it allows us to do when you're creating a campaign is that use that random links button, and it'll push links, anchor text to these links as well, just to keep the network fresh and have content being kept alive, basically. with new backlinks from additional sources that we control. So that's the link manager. Pinger, same type of thing. You can use this for any domain or any page or any piece of content or set of URLs that you want to ping. You just click on the pinger, enter the URLs, and it'll go ahead and start pinging. So this should be used for new sites to get traffic to it, at least get the spiders and bots aware that there's life over here, so they'll come and start indexing everything. That's the main purpose of that. Check rank. Haven't really used the check rank inside here. Normally we use get step. There's that option if you want to explore that. And then obviously in here you want to create a backup folder. You would check for any system updates, but you want to be backing up manually the install every week, I would say. The backup and recovery and everything inside Magic Submitter is really good. But just stay on the safe side, save a backup every week at the end of the week or at the beginning of the week, whatever you want. And so that's the general overview. Next we'll get into, I guess, the science or the reasoning behind building a tiered backlink campaign. So I'll show you how it's done. So everyone can start basically creating their own templates that will share among each other, so we can keep things rotating in a more unique and random fashion for the different link structures and stuff like that we're building. So we'll get into that next.